Welcome to Tourism Talk. I'm your host, Mary Hammond, with the Paducah Convention and Visitors Bureau. Thank you for joining us today. My guest is Jonathan Miller, and he is Kentucky's Secretary of Finance and Administration Cabinet, and he's come down from Frankfurt just to talk to us about the World Equestrian Games. Welcome.
Good to be here with you, Mary.
Yes, here we are, just coming up on fall. It sounds so, I know, it doesn't feel like it out there, but I know that we're getting ready. All the preparations are in the works for the World Equestrian Games. Seems like it's been the last couple of years, and it's finally coming to an end, and it's just so exciting.
Yeah, you know, I've been on the board of the World Equestrian Games on the executive committee since I took this office, which was in December of 2007. So I've been working on this for a good 2.5 years, and
yes.
It's been a labor of love. By virtue of my position, I'm on maybe about 50 different boards. I can't be at every board meeting, but my 14-year-old daughter makes me come to every World Equestrian Board meeting.
I bet she does.
And it's been a joy to do it.
So many of us weren't that familiar with the World Equestrian Games. We knew it was out there, and we would hear about it. And then, you know, these promotions start coming in the mail, in the different magazines. You see the pictures from other countries and how they've treated this, like the Olympics, with beautiful facilities, beautiful displays, people coming from around the world. And I think that we're going to see that here in Kentucky.
Yeah, you know, when I first heard about the Games, when we first landed the Games, I guess it was in 2005, 2006, I was state treasurer, I was a state official. I knew that it would be something good for the state's economy, but I really had no idea what it meant. I know what equestrian means. I knew that there would be some contests, but as we've gone through this, and I think the public is starting to realize, this is really a history-making experience. This is going to be the largest sporting event in the country, on the continent. It is going to be an unprecedented chance for Kentucky to show itself off to the world. And by Kentucky, I'm not just talking about Central Kentucky. Mm-hmm. I mean, we have a Kentucky experience for folks there that's going to show off the Purchase and the mountains in every corner of the state. But it really is going to be a historic opportunity, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I'm like a lot of people that I'm not an equestrian follower. Mm-hmm. I love to go to the Derby. I love to go to Keeneland every now and then. But I'm not a show horse devotee. But this is not about that. And that's what I think people are starting to learn. So much has been invested, time, energy, resources from the private sector, from the public sector, that we're going to make this a spectacular experience. And I'm hoping to see a lot of folks from the Purchase join us for a day, join us for a week. I think that they'll find it's going to be a whole lot of fun.
Like the Olympics, you may not follow those sports the rest of the years in between the Olympics, but when it comes, you get caught up in it and you get so excited. You get to know the athletes, and these are athletes. They are performers, and I think that we will in Kentucky get caught up as well. Recently I was coming back on a trip and went through Dallas, opened the Sunday paper. There it is, right there, article about the World Equestrian Games. As people are beginning to learn, not just in Kentucky, but around the United States. And the Kentucky Horse Park is a world-class facility. My gosh, before the new improvements in preparations for the World Equestrian Games, it was beautiful already, and now it's just, at its peak.
Yeah, you know, we are taking the horse park from a wonderful facility, but in terms of technology, it was a 19th century facility, not even a 20th century facility. It was hard for people from different areas of the park to communicate by phone even. Mm-hmm. And we're taking that a couple hundred years ahead to the 21st century. You're going to see terrific communications, wireless services. I just was at the indoor arena and saw them just set up a new high-definition screen. The kind of things going on there are not going to just make this 3 weeks a spectacular experience, but we're going to be leaving the park with the ability to do some phenomenal stuff afterwards. Not only have many of the facilities been booked for many months out into the future, but this is not just about horses. We're going to have concerts, we're going to have sporting events. It's going to be really a world-class facility. So as Finance Secretary, I'm excited about the Games. I'm excited about what that means, but I'm more excited about what it means afterwards, both in terms of leaving the horse park as a world-class facility, and probably more importantly, all these people coming to Kentucky from all over the world, and people involved in equestrian activities in Europe and in the Middle East in particular come from the upper echelons. They have a lot of money. They're really involved in business. We want them to do business here in Kentucky, and we think that when they come to the World Equestrian Games, they're going to fall in love like we already have and want to have some business here, maybe make a living here. Anytime
you have someone in your family who is that involved in a sport, and we've all seen this with the Olympics, when it comes time to participate in something world-class like this, like the World Equestrian Games, the family comes.
Oh, yeah.
And if you get a family together, you're going to get people with different interests. They're there to watch their relative or friend participate and perform, compete, but there's going to be somebody in there who has a passion for quilting. There's going to be somebody who, they love water, they love the rivers, or they haven't been to the mountains like ours. There are, I think, those passions that are the things that will take the people out into the state. But even for those that, say for instance, quilting, there's a lot of quilting and other craft work in Kentucky. They'll go to the Kentucky Experience and be able to see it close up.
Right.
I love that this is a wonderful, 30,000 square foot facility in each of our regions in Kentucky. We are the Western Lakes and Rivers region. We'll have a wonderful display, a very professional display. I'm real excited about it.
Yeah, and I think that people are really going to be impressed by not just the facility, but by what you're saying. They're going to want to come out and visit Paducah and the Purchase and other areas of the state. And you're talking about families. When my wife and daughters think about the Derby, they think less about the horse race itself and more about the glamour, but also about all the celebrities that come in. We're going to have a lot of celebrities in town. Just last weekend there was a junior riders competition or young riders competition, and teenagers and I think younger were participating. Well, Steven Spielberg came out to watch his child. Kelly Ripa, Regis and Kelly was there, and my particular hero, Bruce Springsteen, was there watching his daughter, who's a really accomplished equestrian. I'm still trying to find a way to meet him, but I think when you come to the World Equestrian Games, you're going to be running shoulder to shoulder with a lot of people where you're going to be looking and say, wait, I know that person, and I think that will make it even more fun. And hopefully, again, those celebrities see how great Kentucky is. They're going to want to have a summer home here or a winter home, or want to locate something or film a movie here, and that will be to our great advantage.
I don't necessarily see those folks in that time period, in that 3-week period, going all over the state, because they're going to be pretty focused at that time. There will be some who will travel around. There always will be when you have that many people, but they will come back. They will see the beauty here, and of course, everybody's around here has heard the story. We stopped here for a vacation on our way to the East Coast. Well, we never made it to the East Coast, so we stayed here, made this home, and no doubt that will happen. And if you look even at my own office at the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and you see what brought those folks to Paducah, it's amazing, the stories that are behind them, and it's something, maybe business, maybe vacation, an activity, and they stay. Yeah, no, it's going to be a great way to show off, and we really, a key part of this is that not only do we have this wonderful facility there, the Kentucky Experience, but we're hoping to see a lot of folks from the Purchase go up and share their own personal stories when they get up there. It's a great opportunity for folks to come and start bragging to the people that you're sitting next to or that you're communicating with. We want all of your viewing audience to be our ambassadors and to tell people, why Paducah, why the Purchase is such a great place to live, raise kids, have a business, etc. And so not only will you get a fun time, but you're also going to be a volunteer to help your state become even stronger. In Paducah, we have Red Coats, Paducah ambassadors. Similar to what Leslie Heath is doing with Alltech, the World Equestrian Games. She is the ambassador. And I always tell our ambassadors, you are official ambassadors, but my gosh, everybody are the unofficial ambassadors, and they're out there. And yes, we like the bragging rights. We like to talk about the experience. And I hope that Kentucky, that we'll all be ambassadors. Yeah, no, we've got some, I think when I travel outside of the state, there are two things people
say when they visited Kentucky. Number one, how beautiful Kentucky is, and we've got so different regions and different beautiful things to see. But they also say how friendly the people are here.
Oh yes, it's that friendly.
Yeah,
Don't go there.
Exactly. Well, we're very proud.
Yes,
even though we
are.
weren't proud of the license plate at the time, we were proud of the sentiment, and so we'd love to see people go up there, share their stories, and convince people that are visiting to come back
Yes.
and stay.
Well, for anybody who's watching, I didn't know what type of competitions there were. We've all seen dressage, on television, but there's so much that hasn't been covered that will be covered in prime time by NBC, and I'm very excited about the different types of competitions from the reining. I never even knew reining existed.
Yeah.
Are you familiar enough to describe some of the different?
Oh, it's all been new to me, and I've been finding it thrilling. I mean, reining is you're like at a rodeo, and
Yes.
it's all the excitement of a rodeo. And I know folks around here have been to rodeos, but it's the Western feel. It's the newest discipline added to it. The people have seen dressage. I guess they can get a general idea what endurance is. That's just
Yes,
going for
right.
a long way. But the one that really interested me most was vaulting. When I heard vaulting, I thought that meant jumping. I was thinking of pole
Right.
vaulting. Now, did you get on a horse and do a pole vault? But in fact, it's basically gymnastics on top of a moving horse. And it is phenomenal. Now, you mentioned this earlier. I don't watch gymnastics every year. I don't watch track and field. But when it comes to the Olympics, I'm glued to the
yes,
television
glued,
screen.
right.
And to see this kind of artistry, the people at the top of their game doing this wonderful stuff. There's individual vaulting, then there's group vaulting. I mean, it's spectacular. So if you've got a child at home, or a spouse, or you yourself are really a gymnastics devotee, I mean, you've got to see this vaulting experience. And if you're not even, I mean, like myself, if you're not someone that watches it, but in Olympic years, these are the world-class athletes, and it's going to be a spectacular experience.
Then you've got the driving, and that is actually pulling. Not a wagon, but
Right.
for us, very basic, pulling a wagon, and the para dressage.
Yeah, it's really incredible how they incorporate folks with perceived disabilities. I mean, you can't. It's hard to describe someone that is such an incredible athlete as someone with disabilities, because they can do things that I can't do. But instead of having a separate Olympics and Paralympics like they do on the big stage, it's all together in this, and I just think it's one of the most wonderful things. And again, these are things I've learned. I've been a native of Lexington. I've been involved with the horse park for over a decade, but I just learned that the horse park has this fantastic facility for the disabled that not only takes champions like this for competitions, but also uses a therapeutic device to help people get back some of their skills, or help them keep in shape while they have the disability. Yeah, and it's we're launching a new program for disabled veterans very soon.
Great.
So all of this work that's going on out there is going to have some incredible impact in the future. And that, as finance secretary during a tough economy, I mean, that is really exciting. But it's going to be a real treat for you to come watch it. And again, there are a lot of people out there that are saying, well, I don't know which ticket to buy. I don't know whether I want to do vaulting. The websites that have been set up are very helpful. You go to either Ticketmaster, you go to alltech.com. You mentioned Leslie Heath, who it's amazing. Alltech is just an incredible company. They've loaned her out here to spend her time helping people figure out what events to go to and promoting the games. And I know your website will have a link on how to get in touch with Leslie.
Oh, everybody knows Leslie.
Well, great.
She's out there and speaking to every group that she
Well,
can. And if somebody's watching this and you would want Leslie to come talk about the World Equestrian Games, my gosh, call my office. It's easy. 1-800-Paducah. It doesn't matter. It's a local. There's no charge. Paducah.travel. There are going to be direct links to Leslie, to the World Equestrian Games, Ticketmaster, all of that right on there. Remind me, I've got to talk to Rosemary about doing that, but it'll be great.
I think ultimately that the one thing I recommend people, if they're still like, I just don't know what to do here, we have general admission passes. They're just $25 each. We have a Flex Pass, which is basically a general admissions pass, but you don't have to commit to a day. It works any day, and those are $35 each. Buy those, get a pack for you and your spouse, or for you and your family, and go out to the horse park. You'll see all the incredible things going on. You get admission to all of the different displays. I mean, you'll feel the atmosphere. You'll see celebrities walking by. And then you'll be in the atmosphere. Then you can decide, well, maybe I want to go see the reining, or maybe I want to go see the vaulting. If you buy one of those tickets, you can then deduct that $25 or $35 that you've paid. So by putting that general admission ticket, you're already kind of putting a deposit, if you like, on the full admission of one of these events. So really,
if you're bringing your girls like
Right.
you are now, so they're like under 12, they're free if they come with adults.
right. Unfortunately, my daughters are teenagers right now for those purposes as well. But
The last couple of years they've grown.
yeah, that's right.
I'm
But-
still picturing them
But younger
small.
children are free. But
Okay.
again, it's even for me, it's if I wanted to take my
Yes.
family, it would be $100 for general admission one day, or if I wanted to get those flex passes, it would be $140. I could do my math real quickly, but that's the whole family for
Sure.
a spectacular day. And we get there, we find out more about the different events, then we can kind of cash that in as a deposit to get a big discount on the tickets themselves. So I really encourage you to go to alltech.com or ticketmaster.com
Right.
and get those
Get
general
those
admission
tickets.
tickets now.
You know, there are times when you go, oh my gosh, $140 for us to go. But when you're thinking about tickets to other activities, I was looking at the water park tickets the other day, or you're talking about the Indy 500 tickets or tickets to Disney World or any of those big events. This is not an extravagant price.
A Reds game, I mean, this is
Yes,
much cheaper
right.
than going to the Derby. It's,
Right.
it's very equivalent to a sporting event. It's much cheaper going to a Wildcat basketball game, and I know how popular those are down here. But, and also let me dispel some of the myths. There's been some myths that there's not going to be any parking. We just opened a new 10-acre parking lot. There's myths that there are no hotel rooms, that there are plenty of hotel rooms left. The prices have been a little steep, but I think that there's a bunch of discussion going on lowering the prices for those.
Well, supply and demand.
Yeah.
We are Americans,
And
you know.
there's still a lot of people in Lexington who are going to loan out their houses or apartments for lower prices, and again, that's all available once you talk to someone like Leslie Heath, or you get on the alltech.com site. You can find out more about that. But we're really making this as convenient as possible. So what we encourage people to do, you know, we're getting real close. We're just over a month away from the start of the games, and buy those general admission tickets, or if you already know you like vaulting or you want to come to opening ceremonies, buy those tickets. Those events those tickets are being bought up fast, so you want to get those now. But take this opportunity to. I know people keep putting it off. Do this right now at your computer. It's really easy. Call up Leslie. I have my iPad with me. This is
Yes,
I got
we
this.
see.
My daughter's got this for my birthday. I guess Mom actually paid for it. But
They're fine.
I have on here an app that will allow people to buy World Equestrian Game tickets, and it's so simple. So if you've got an iPad or an iPhone, you can get this app on your computer, or you don't need to have any of that. If you don't have broadband access, you can go to your local library. By the way, the governor just announced last week, and I've been working on this with him, that we're getting almost $200 million to improve broadband access in the purchase alone. We're really excited about that. So if you don't have broadband access, we're hopeful that you're going to get it soon. But this is a real fun opportunity, and I just want to encourage your viewers to go right now and go buy those tickets, because you're not going to regret it. And again, the easiest thing to do if you buy those general admission tickets is you can always then trade them in for something higher and still get all your money back.
We also need to remember that Lexington, the side where the horse park is, on that side of town, is very similar to us hosting the Quilters. And you'll hear, oh, there are no hotel rooms, everybody's booked. And then there are people who just show up and walk in, and they say there are rooms. Well, anytime you have that many people, there is going to be change. There's going to be rooms available.
Yeah.
They always surface. And also, within a very short distance, there are many other communities.
Sure.
Many other towns.
Let me just give you, something that you could do is, as a family, go to Louisville. Enjoy. There's a lot of events going on in Louisville in conjunction. Spend the night there, then come on down for the games. Go into Elizabethtown. There are a lot of different options. In those places, the hotels are pretty much normal price. But make it a couple-day affair, and come see parts of the state that maybe you're not as familiar with. But
State parks.
and stay at a state park. Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. I don't know
That's a good
if
choice.
going to the lake gets you far enough to get you close, but why don't you, if you want to make it a week, keep on going east, come on by and see all our state parks.
And I love the Fortnight Festival, getting us all fired up for the World Equestrian Games. And there is all types of fabulous entertainment being offered in Lexington and across the state.
Yeah.
But really, as we get closer, we've had some entertainment here. I know Murray State has had some entertainment that's sponsored by the World Equestrian Games to get us fired up. But as the games get closer, the entertainment is closer to town. But such wonderful, the Temptations, Little Feat, Winona, just
yeah. No, we're getting some world-class acts. Again, Alltech has been an
Tony
incredibly
Bennett,
lead sponsor on this. Pierce and Deidre Lyons are just amazing. We got them from Ireland a few decades ago, and we're never going to let them go. They've done such an incredible job with this. But there is something for everybody. If you like country music, if you like classical music, if you like rock, if you like quilting, if you like bourbon, if you like all of the different features of Kentucky, there's going to be something for you at this event. So, again, go see Leslie. She'll get this all to you. If you've got a web connection, go to alltech.com or Ticketmaster.com, and you'll see all the incredible things going on.
I don't think in our minds that we can picture, not only do you have beautiful grounds for the World Equestrian Games up at the horse park, but then you've got these pavilions. Alltech has got a series of pavilions. The Kentucky experience with all the different pavilions with the bourbon and the wines and the beers and the Kentucky crafts, the Kentucky musicians that will be performing just continuously. It's amazing. It will be a Disney World.
Yeah, no, that's a good comparison. I mean, again, I am someone who, had I not lived here, had I not known about this event, probably I'd heard World Equestrian Games, I would have said, I'm sure that's nice, but it's not my bag. But, I am so excited about this as someone who is into the arts, into music, into culture. All of that is going to be available, all in a very small area, and we want you to come and have a great time and show off Paducah and show off the Purchase, because we want people coming back out here and doing business here and being a tourist here and spending their money here, because we're this is a tough economic time, but we think the World Equestrian Games is going to be that shot in the arm that's going to help Kentucky really deal with this. We had another shot in the arm yesterday. I don't know your viewers are going to watch this show, but just yesterday it was announced, the governor announced that NASCAR is bringing a Sprint Cup race to the Sparta track. And I know you probably have a lot of viewers who love NASCAR, and Western Kentucky's got a great tradition. That is going to be a huge, huge event that's going to bring millions of dollars. Well, the World Equestrian Games is even bigger than that. Believe it or not, it's even bigger than a Sprint Cup race because it's bringing in an international audience, even bigger crowds. And so if you like NASCAR, July 9th, we'll have that race for you. But this September, come on down to Lexington, come to the horse park. It's going to be just an incredible event.
I have to liken this to our quilt show that does bring international visitors, not on the scale of the World Equestrian Games, but we do bring very respectable amounts, 35,000 to 45,000 people, filling hotel rooms within a 60-mile radius. And similar to the quilt show, when the events stop in the evening at the horse park, there are events all over town, all over the region. And then they even continue to spread throughout Kentucky. We have events here, just like, we'll back up a little bit. In Lexington, there'll be events, I'm sure, all over town. I know we've got artists going up to the Lexington Center to set up and be a part of festivities. But here in Paducah, we have the Quilt Museum is having a horse's tail exhibit with quilts, equestrian quilts, and that's will be going. This opens, well, just now. If you're watching this, it's opening. It'll continue through November, so that'll be nice. And we have a Deb Lyons, a local quilter, who has a beautiful equestrian quilt. And then Meredith Schrader with the American Quilter Society has a quilt that will be on display at the Kentucky Experience, Barbaro. It's a beautiful quilt by Shirley Kelly, which was one of our favorite quilters who wins every year. And once you see her work, and even, as non-quilters around town, you start to identify different artists, quilt artists, and Shirley Kelly is one of those. And so we'll be glad to see her be a part of this exhibit. PAPA, the Purchase Area Painters Alliance, they have an exhibit, a competition of equestrian paintings. So there are activities, and of course our local horse enthusiasts will be having a show this fall. So we're excited.
And I bet you and I have missed 100 other things that are
Oh,
going
my
on.
goodness,
that
yes.
you know, if you've got a hobby, if you've got an interest, if you've got something you're enthusiastic about, I would put good money on the fact that it will be a part of this experience at the World Equestrian Games, except on a grander scale with you know, with people that from all walks of life, from all over the world. I mean, I don't know, many of your viewers have traveled to Europe or traveled to Asia. I would guess probably most of us haven't. I've been to Europe a couple times, but I've never been to the Middle East, outside of Israel. But these people are going to be coming from all over the globe. You'll get to interact with them. They are going to be curious about lifestyles, and what a great way if you've got kids or grandkids to bring them to kind of the world culture, to introduce them to people, then bring them to this one place which is going to be like a United Nations. So it's going to be a really great opportunity.
And it's true, there's no place like our place. Is there no place like this place? So your assignment, if you've been watching this, is to do what you do best, be a good Kentuckian, put out that hand of welcome, be familiar with your state. When you see these folks come in, know what's going on at the World Equestrian Games, get your own ticket, get up there, especially if you've got children. What a wonderful way to expose them to cultures from around the world and those ties that bind us all together. And the equestrians will give us that opportunity, and I'm really excited about it. 1-800-PADUCAH, www.paducah.travel. Go on your smartphone, be looking for that app, World Equestrian Games. Ticketmaster, Leslie Heath, you know that blonde. She's out there. I hear her laughing. But be on the lookout for and keep informed. Stop by the office at 128 Broadway, pick up some brochures. We've got lots. And we want you to be informed and be a part of this exciting activity. Thank you, Secretary Miller, for joining us. I hope you'll come back another time.
Oh, I'd love to, and I want to encourage your viewers, do it now. I'm all worried that everybody's going to wait till the day before, and then we're going to suddenly run out of tickets because everybody's be so excited. So do it now while folks are thinking about other stuff.
Just do it. I know you will. They will, especially after hearing you speak. Thanks so much. Have a great visit in Paducah.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time on Tourism Talk.